Good morning, Standard 9 students. Now, yesterday we saw how Joe Thompson, he had tears in his eyes when he was speaking to his wife, that how they should be kind and make life a little comfortable just for one night for Maggie, because she has just lost her mother. She is mourning. Okay, she's a motherless child. And then he requested his wife at least to be kind, taking the example of how Jesus Christ loved children. And what did he say about whosoever does good to children will go, means they will be rewarded, even if they are given a cup of cold water. Look at her kindly, Jane. Speak to her kindly, said Joe. Think of her dead mother and the loneliness, the pain, the sorrow that must be on all her coming life. Just think about her situation. Okay? The loneliness of the dead mother, the pain, the sorrow that she is going to suffer in her whole life. The softness of his heart gave unwonted eloquence to his lips. So when he was speaking this, it touched his heart. So his lips began to tremble. Okay, when you want to say something, now remember, he never had the guts to tell his wife whatever he wanted. But now he was bold enough and he started ordering his wife or requesting his wife. So there was something which he was not willing to do, but he was forced to do it. So there was a tremble in his lips. Mrs. Thompson did not reply, but presently turned towards the little chamber where her husband had deposited Maggie. Means she looked towards the room where Maggie was, and pushing open the door, went quietly in. Joe did not follow. Now, when Mrs. Thompson went towards Maggie's room, Joe did not follow his wife. Okay, he did not want to go and see how his wife is going to treat the girl. He saw that her state had changed. He found a little difference in his wife's behavior, and felt that it would be best to leave her alone with the child. So he went to his shop, which stood near the house, and worked until dusky evening released him from labor. So what he did, he decided to leave his wife and Maggie alone, and he went to his workshop. Now it had already turned dusk. It was turning dark, so he decided to stop work and come back home. A light shining through the little chamber windows was the first object that attracted Joe's attention on turning towards the house. So when he stopped work, when he decided to go home, and when he saw his window, the light was shining. That was the first thing he observed as he turned towards his house. It was a good omen, means it was a good sign. Something positive is going to take place. The path led him by his windows, and when opposite, he could not help pausing to look in. So he tried to look through the window, but unfortunately he was not able to see properly. It was now dark enough outside on the screen to screen him from observation. Now, since it was dark, nobody from inside could see that he is watching through the window. Maggie lay a little raised on the pillow, with the lamp shining full upon her face. So when he saw through the window, he saw that Maggie was sitting and resting on a pillow, and the light was shining fully on her face. Mrs. Thompson was sitting by the bed talking to the child, but her back was towards the window. So Joe Thompson could not see her face, could not see her expression, because her back was turned towards the window side, and Joe Thompson could not get an opportunity to see exactly the expression of Mrs. Thompson, so that her countenance was not seen. So what she was saying, how she looked angrily or lovingly, nothing could be noticed because her back was turned. From Maggie's face, therefore, Joe must read the character of their intercourse. Now he had to understand everything by looking at Maggie's expression. Then he would come to know whether they were having a friendly conversation or a bitter conversation. That can only be noticed, that expression would be shown on Maggie's face. He saw that her eyes were intently fixed upon his wife, means she was staring into Mrs. Thompson's eyes. That now and then a few words came as if in answers from her lips. He could see that Maggie was replying to what Mrs. Thompson was saying. But he saw nothing of bitterness or pain. So what did he notice? That they were having a conversation. Maggie was saying something, but the expression showed that there was no bitterness in their conversation. A deep down breath was followed by one of relief, as a weight lifted itself from his heart. When he saw a very pleasant conversation is being conversed between Maggie and his wife, he took a deep breath. Thank God, because now a heavy burden had come off his shoulders, because he was in pins. He was very nervous. How in his absence, how his wife is going to treat Maggie, because the welcoming was not very pleasant. She snarled at him. She spoke ill. And she didn't want to keep the girl in her house. And now she is left alone with this girl in the absence of Mr. Thompson. But now Mr. Thompson felt that some changes have come about my wife and she's beginning to soften. And that is why he felt a sigh of relief. A deep down breath means a sigh of relief. On entering, Joe did not go immediately to the little chamber. So when he entered his house, he did not go to that room. His heavy tread about the kitchen brought his wife somewhat hurriedly from the room where she had been with Maggie. So what happens? Joe Thompson decided not to go to that room, but when he was walking, the sound of his heavy footsteps could be heard, and Jane, his wife, hurriedly came to meet him, leaving the girl alone. Joe thought it best not to refer to the child, nor to manifest any concern in regard to her. So when the wife came to meet Joe after he came back from work, so Joe decided not to bring about the topic. So let's not talk about the child, no do any kind of inquiry about the child. I mean, the child's topic should not be spoken. How soon will supper be ready? He asked. Right soon, answered Mrs. Thompson, beginning to bustle about. There was no asperity in her voice. So now there was no harshness. Okay. She said, right soon, dinner will be ready soon. And she began to bustle about me. She began to feel a little uncomfortable. Okay, but when she spoke, there was no harshness or there was no rude Oh, her speech was not rough at all. After washing from his hands and face the dust and soil of work, Joe left the kitchen and went to the little bedroom. Okay, a pair of large bright eyes looked up at him from the snowy bed, looked at him tenderly, gratefully, pleadingly. Now, when Joe went to meet the girl, he saw that she was anticipating, longing to meet him. And he could read in her expression that she was showing a lot of sign of gratitude, appreciativeness, and all that. Okay. How his heart swelled in his bosom. All the way she looked at him, stared at him lovingly, waiting when he would enter. He began to feel great. His heart swelled means that action had touched his heart. Okay. With what a quicker motion came the heartbeats. Because when he saw this, his heartbeat began to beat faster. Joe sat down and now for the first time examining the thin frame carefully under the lamplight. Now when Joe sat at the side of the bed, then he began to witness or examine, see Maggie's face nicely. He had just saw her from a distance, carried her, but he did not look into her face. Saw that it was an attractive face and full of childish sweetness, which suffering had not been able to obliterate. So he saw the childish nature of childish and innocent behavior of the child. The child was suffering, but it did not destroy. The meaning of obliterate means to destroy the suffering of the child. Thank you. And I shall continue again later on. Okay. Bye.